Now, here's Dennis Daly with his daily video blog.
Hi, and thanks again, everybody. It was on this date in 1914 that something was installed at an intersection in Cleveland, Ohio, that would change the way we drive. That thing was the first American traffic signal. It was installed at the intersection of East 105th and Euclid Avenue, and it had only two colors, red and green, and a buzzer to warn people the light was about to change. Let's revisit an earlier update on the subject. Hi, and thanks again, everybody. Can you see me over here? I'm trying to get across the street. The reason I bring this up is there is a temptation when you come up to these walk signals to keep pushing on the button. Well, if you know electronics, you know the first time you push on it, a big relay closes, or now with the days of electronics, a transistor fires, and no matter how many times you push on this, it doesn't help. But at least at a lot of intersections now, we have this kind of signal. A signal that does let you cross the street. But it wasn't always that way. You know, back in the days before the automobile, there really wasn't much of a need for the kind of traffic signals we know today. But before the rise of cars and trucks, the prevailing transportation of earlier eras did have its own signaling, such as shipping. There were systems called semaphore. Flags and flag positions could send words letter by letter. And of course, they use flags on ship to designate weather and shipping conditions. The railroads have always had their own kind of signaling. But before the era of the automobile, at intersections in London as far back as 1860, there were primitive traffic signals to regulate horse traffic. They were hand-operated by a poor soul who had to stand in the middle of the street. The modern electric traffic light is an American invention. As early as 1912 in Salt Lake City, a policeman named Lester Wire set up the first red-green traffic lights. No amber yet. The American Traffic Signal Company was organized in 1914 and put up the first signal in Cleveland at 105th and Euclid Avenue. The first modern-day four-way, three-color traffic lights were created by yet another policeman, William Potts, in Detroit in 1920. Signals for walk, don't walk started showing up in big cities in the 1930s. Countdown timers on traffic lights were introduced in the 90s. The semaphore signal for N is off to the side and down at a 45-degree angle. The semaphore signal for D is essentially straight up and down. If you put that straight line superimposed over an upside-down V with a circle around it, you get the peace symbol. It was designed in the 1950s with ND, meaning nuclear disarmament. And I'm Dennis Daly with your daily news update.